Hi, everybody. My name is Brandon Smith, and I have refused so far to wear a mask anywhere except one time. Actually, I wore a mask today. I was cleaning out the kitty litter box, and I wore a mask. But other than that, I don't wear a mask. And I was with Pat Oates the other day, and
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Pat Oates. And I got to call some people Nazis. It was a lot of fun.
Is that my introduction now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was Dave Hintz, the Nazi.
Nazis, everybody.
Hi.
No, it was – here's my thing. Hi, I'm Pat Oates, everyone, of Pat Oates fame. And I only wear masks when people ask me to. My rule is this. It's not even about, like, what I believe in it. If someone else is letting me into their place, the place that they run or whatever, and it makes them comfortable, I wear it. Because I just don't care. But if it's me, I don't make anyone wear it. But Brandon, myself, and my son Seamus went to go stop and get food at Moe's, a wonderful establishment that also had a Mortenson's right next to it. So we were thinking maybe some tacos and some ice cream and stuff like that.
What's a Mortenson's?
Ice cream place.
Oh, nice.
Hence the part where I said it's an ice cream place. And then said we were going to have ice cream with tacos.
Yeah, but I didn't know what Mortenson's was. Like, I was thinking of the salt.
But I said ice cream.
Yeah,
I said ice cream. There was the part with the taco, and then I said ice cream, and you're like,
scream.
We all scream. Dave Hintz. These are fucking dead jokes. So anyway, we go there, and Brandon does not wear masks. We've talked about this before. Brandon does not believe in masks. Brandon goes off. Well, that's great. My son Seamus is a 14-year-old boy who doesn't live in this town we're in. So he was not – and I want you to know this, Brandon. Seamus wasn't embarrassed, but he was worried because – if you think about who works in ice cream places, it's people about his age who go to school with him. And he probably thought, oh, no, people are going to think my dad and his gay lover are fighting over fucking if they can eat here. So, again. But Brandon, you tell your part. You tell it from your point of view, then I'll tell it from my son's point of view.
So I walked into Moe's, and they told me, they stopped me right away, and they were like, you need a mask. And I'm like, no, I don't need a mask, because the way the law works is if you have any condition or if you don't feel safe, you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to wear a mask, and you don't have to disclose what your condition is. And really what it is because you can't just make a law. I think we talked about this last time. You can't just make a law and without, there's a process that we have to go through, and any law that is repugnant to the Constitution is invalid. So you have that too. So anyway, I walked in.
Real quick though, let me just ask this though, because I was thinking about this. Yes, you're right. You can't just make a new law, but any business can do a right of refusal whenever they want to, correct?
Well, this is the thing though. If I'm not wearing a mask because I can't breathe, then they are discriminating against me.
Right,
yeah,
but if they're saying their policy is wearing a mask, then you just don't get to shop in their store.
Well, if they want to discriminate against me.
Right, well, I mean, they're saying it's their policy. They're not saying discrimination. They're saying we need you to wear a mask. I was talking about it at my job today, and they were saying that it's not that it's the law. They would say it's our right of refusal. That would be that's the right argument rather than saying it's a law.
Well, there's that, but they also have corporate though. Is that their actual they can't you can't as a manager just say that if that's not their corporate standard. Go ahead, Dave. What's up?
Right, but all posted signs say according to state mandate. They don't say it's our policy. They say according to state mandate. So in which, like, no shirt, no shoes, no service is a store policy, which they post. But this says according to state, which to me would suggest that they can't say it's our store policy if it's mandated by the state. So, Brandon, you should be able to say, yo, man, I don't recognize your state. Goddamn.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Dave, just to be clear, the reason why it doesn't say that on a no shoes, no shirt, no service thing is because that is the ultimate mandate. Hey-o. No shirt, no shoes, bitch. We gonna fuck.
Plenty of service, you know
already.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, this guy gets it.
So I go in there and, and this is, I guess we could talk about this later, but anyway, so this is, I went in there, and then the manager's like, not wanting to hear it, freaking out. He's like, all right, I'll call my district manager. I'm like, all right, fine. And he's like, why don't you just go outside? I'm like, because I can't see the menu from outside. And he's like, well, and I'm like, I don't want to have to feel special or weird or different. Let me just order some food and I'll get out of your hair. I've already spent more time in here than I would have if you just let me order the food, right? And what I'm trying to do is just point out how ridiculous this is, because it just needs to be done, okay? So I go outside, and I'm waiting. I'm looking at the menu, and as I'm looking at the menu, I realize there's really not. Go ahead, Pat.
I think at this point, I should catch up where we're seeing this because
go ahead. All right.
Without meaning to, there's a tremendous punchline to this story. And if you just tell it without us building up to where we were, because we walk in to the punchline of this story, which Brandon was brilliant in. So as Brandon went in first. He hadn't really been to a Moe's. I mean, obviously know what kind of food it was, but wanted to see if he even wanted to eat anything there. Brandon goes in first because he doesn't have to stop and put his mask on because, he doesn't care.
Because he's a fucking man and he does what he wants.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question.
I'm also a man. And what I wanted to do was eat a fucking burrito with my son. So it's like, so Seamus and I are getting our mask, getting ready to go in. We look into the store, big plate glass window, and we see, John Wick over here. He's an imposing guy, 6'4", long flowing hair, beard, and he's just waving his arms around. And we see this manager person kind of just presenting their arm like, you can just see them go, like, they're saying like, you can't be here. Brandon's going, you can't be here. What do you can't be here? I can be anywhere. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us, or whatever he's doing.
I did say that.
Nice. And so we walk in. So Seamus goes, should we go in? I'm like, yeah, let's go in. We'll get some food, whatever. We have our masks on behind them, but we know them. We don't care. We're just standing there doing our thing. And then the guy says, I'm just following rules. And Brandon goes, yeah, rules. And they're not good rules. Maybe I need to speak with your manager. Like, you want to speak with my manager? Like, yeah, I'd love to get your manager. Get your manager on the phone. And Seamus goes, are we eating here? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's going to take a while. We're fine. So Seamus and I order our burritos. We're getting our food. As we're getting it, there's a fat girl making the food. And she goes, do you want cheese? You didn't say cheese. I said, well, yeah, you know what? I'd like cheese. She goes, gotta have cheese. Everyone loves cheese. My dad and I eat lots of cheese. I go, I can tell. And she just looked at me, and Seamus was laughing. And Seamus quoted my joke and goes, you gotta be careful. Cheese is binding. I'm like, yeah, he knows my act. That's
nice.
Great. Thanks, Seamus. So we're getting our burritos, and we're starting to walk out because you have to eat outside, where they offered to serve Brandon if he just went outside, and they gave him a paper menu, and we all could have had. My son and my friend Brandon have the same birthday. You were saying 4th of July birthdays earlier. Seamus and Brandon are both July 2nd babies. So I wanted to take my two boys out for dinner and maybe some ice cream. I was very happy to do so. Now I can't have dinner with one of them because he's having a tantrum. So the good one gets his burrito. So as we're walking out the door, Brandon is outside. We can see him out there waiting because the kid who's now got to call the district manager, who, by the way, probably is off just at home getting their 4 minutes off they get from their shit job that they hate. So in getting the phone, and they get the phone, and they go to hand it to Brandon. And that's when we're walking out the door. Brandon's outside, phone being handed to Brandon, the district manager, and then Brandon, take it away.
All right, so I already realized that I didn't want anything because they gave me a paper menu. I looked through it. There's really nothing I was going to eat. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he hands me the phone, and I look at him, and the first thing I say is, your manager just handed me a phone. I thought we were in the middle of a pandemic. He just spoke on the phone and then handed it to me, and I don't have a mask, which is supposed to save everyone's life.
By the way, though, Brandon, you sold it better. He hands you the phone. I watched your eyes light up, and Seamus goes, something's going to happen. It's exactly what he said. We saw you happy. We're like, well, I didn't predict it. You got the phone. You said this. Oh, hi, Chris, because you said your name. You called whoever it was. Hi, Chris. Isn't it crazy that I can talk on your phone, but I can't be inside your place? That's even worse. I was like, bam. Seamus, let's go find a table because he's going to be here a while.
Yeah, so then I just proceeded to read the state law to this young lady. Which just the part.
Like, do you have it on your phone, or do you have
Oh no, I have it on my phone. I don't have it memorized. I just read the part. And she's just like, she's telling me. Go ahead.
You got to get like a scroll. I feel like it'd be way more impactful if you're like, oh, the law, and you unfurl, as opposed to like,
Dave. He should write it on the back of a mask. You take your mask out and you never put it on. You just read it to him.
Here's my question about the law and the masks. It just says, please wear a mask. So if I'm wearing it like on my elbow or just visibly on my forehead, can I walk in like, yeah, this is my mask?
A lot of the things do say underneath. I know you're going for a joke, but like they do say underneath face coverings and stuff. When I'm at work today, there's a guy there and he has some kind of breathing problem for real, but he's kind of like tardy, like not like, whatever. So he was wearing, it was a welder's mask, but plastic. And it said on it, on the headband part, face shield, in case you didn't know. So I walked in, I'm like, looking good, dude. And he goes, I have to wear it because of my condition. I go, you look like a salad bar. He kind of laughed, and everyone's like, you shouldn't have called him a salad bar. I'm like, whatever. So another manager goes, I go, did you see that guy's face? I wouldn't stop. I'm like, you see the face mask? I want one. I want a welding mask. And then one manager just goes, it's not doing anything. It's just breathing down. He's better off wearing nothing. I go, he needs to get a bike, like a motorcycle helmet. That's what he should wear. And the fucking register's like a giant motorcycle helmet, like a Power Ranger. Just rock that. But Brandon, tell them what you told this woman she's like.
Well, after I read the law to her, she was basically told me that she didn't care. She's like, I'm just doing my job. I have a family. I have to feed my kids. You know, what do you want me to do? And I was like, you know, that's really nice. But you know who else said that? The fucking Nazis. That's who said it.
There it is.
I don't think I said fucking. I probably didn't say fucking because I didn't want to.
Nazis have never served burritos till
the
that
Nazis. And then I was like, you know, and I'm like, that answer actually infuriates me because I don't know. It was
Fuhrer, like the Nazis. It infuriates me.
So, I gotta say, I appreciate you going for the comedy there, but I might have gone a little bit. I would go high road. I'd go highbrow and be like,
yeah, that's what
put on a mask, and I'd be like, this isn't what I'm like in real life.
Dave, you wouldn't have done shit.
That's true, but I'd like to say it.
Like, I'm Mr. Loud. He says anything. I wouldn't do shit. I would wear a mask. I would say sorry. Yeah. I just want my burrito.
I've been taken to wearing the mask and then pulling it down so I can breathe through my nose.
See, I don't even do that. People at my work do that. Like, they're like, every time there's someone moving, but I'm like, if I'm going to wear it, I'm just going to wear it. Like, I'm not cheating. I'm not putting, like Brandon is, I'm not just putting the tip in. I'm either going whole or none. You know what I mean? So I just wear it. I am used to it. I only wear it at work or on the bus. I don't wear it anywhere else.
No, I'm taking it down from, I'm taking the beats down from the inside. Like I'm subversive. I wear it, but then do that. Oh, yeah.
No one gives a fuck if you do that. What are you doing? Either do it or don't. Don't bisexual a mask. You're straight or you're gay.
Half on, half in.
Half on, half in?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was going for there, but I like it now. Now that it's out, I enjoy it. I stand by it.
I don't know. Listen, I just don't care. If you tell me to wear a mask, I'm going to wear a mask. You tell me to wear pants, I'm going to wear pants. I don't know. 20 years ago, I think I'd be with Brandon. I'd be yelling. I just feel like life's beat me down. Like, I got so many dumb things. It's like, I'll wear your mask. Yeah, I don't like that we have to wear a mask. I don't like that we're in timeout. I don't like that we're being told what the fuck to do. I hate that the world's changing every second and every day. It feels like 8 days went by and there's all new rules and all new cancellations and all new bullshit. You can't wear a mask. You can wear a mask. You can only wear a mask. You know, if you have to wear a mask all the time, except if you're rioting. But you have to riot only about this thing. You can't protest about masks, but you can protest about other things. Like, I don't even know what's going on, so I'm just wearing the mask because I don't want to cry.
I am too lazy to stick up for what's right, and I totally admit that.
That's the American way, though. Why do we do it? Why are we all sticking up now?
I'd be the guy who's like, you didn't realize what was going on in those camps over there? I'd be like, it's so far.
What camps?
I'm going back to
American camps?
Oh, I thought we were getting off of the pedophile stuff. So I was going Nazi camps.
No, who said pedophiles? What are you talking about? We were talking about being lazy, and you said camp.
Yeah, like getting back to what Brandon said. You know who did that? The Nazis. I'd be like the German guy.
You were somebody who was hanging out near the camps.
Yeah,
I was Jewish, but you weren't like a Nazi. You were just a farmer German.
Yes, that's it. I'm the German farmer who sees the smoke and is like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on there."
What's your name and what's your main crop?
All right. So my name is
Dave
Heinrich
Hintz.
Himmel. my crop is cotton.
Do Germans have cotton?
I just want to keep it topical.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Who's gonna pick it? You just killed off your workers.
I killed all the. Ooh. Who could work?
Who are the workers? The Jews weren't picking cotton.
They would have if they grew cotton.
Come on.
What do they even grow in Germany?
They got little miser hands.
Beets. I feel like they grow beets in Germany.
They don't grow beets in Germany.
They make sick beats, though, I heard.
Sick beats. You do. They do, like Skrillex. Aren't they German?
Yeah.
You'd be a bad farming German. I couldn't do it. I know why? Because I find Jewish women attractive. I would help like one hot one. I'd help her hop the fence.
Just one?
Well, yeah, I'm Dave. I'm a lover. Like, I don't share. I find one, we fall in love.
I'm a man of honor.
What?
You're a man of honor.
I am. I am the man who will fight for your honor. Yeah, I'll be your hero because you're a Jew. That's a fun song.
That was actually wasn't that the end of the Karate Kid?
Yeah. No.
That song, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it's from that song, by the way, when I was in high school, we were, it's when people in gyms first started opening, and there was a gym called, was it Physique Plus, I think. It was in Cheshire. And me and my brother and two of my buddies were working out there. And every day, if we went like after 6 o'clock at night, there was always this woman who had big fake tits who was on a treadmill. Now, this is before and people just had big fake tits. So it was like a special thing to see. And so we would always go, look at the lady with the big fake tit. Like, we're high school kids. Like, we just buy a stripper, buy this, that, whatever. And a buddy of mine one day just turns and he's like, guys, she's probably just a single mom trying to make the money to help her kids out. And got quiet. My buddy Dan Fitz just goes, I am the man who will fight for your honor. That's all I think of that song all the time. Big fake tits, whenever that song comes on. So don't throw your Ralph Macchio into my dreams. Was
that back in the day? That's back in the day when the fake tits really looked fake. Like
they looked great under the shirt she was running.
Yeah,
this is also what she was wearing
when they were under the shirt.
Like the one piece, like jazzercise outfit.
But when that's back in the
94.
Yeah, that's back in the days where like they looked great under the shirt, but when you took them off, it looked like you had two fish bowls sitting on your chest.
You took their tits off? Hey, girl, take your tits off. Show me your boy body.
Come on in, take your tits off.
Show me your boy body.
Comfortable.
Come on, girl, get over here and take your tits off for a minute. Come on, take them tits off. Them tits get away.
Girl, sit on down.
You know I like a pirate. Sunken chest. I don't want none of that big old fake titties. Get them titties out of this shit. Take that butt off too, girl. I want you to be bones. Be bones, baby. I want to fuck bones. Skeletons.
Let's lose that skin. Oh, that pesky skin. Let's lose it, girl.
Are you doing a black voice? Because we're gonna.
No, I'm trying to do like. I don't know.
I think we're gonna have to, Brandon. We're gonna have to find a black person to do that voice because nowadays you're not allowed to do other voices anymore. I'm gonna work on a whole bit on this. I'm gonna talk about characters and then find that type of person in the audience and ask them to do the voice because I'm not allowed to as a white male.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Just be like, and then this Hispanic guy was yelling at me, sir, can you help me for a minute? And then as he starts talking, be like, no, more Hispanic. Like and I'll even stop and go, it's almost like I created a character and I know what it sounds like and you don't. You just happen to be Hispanic. Maybe I should do it. Yeah, I'm proving points.
Did you know how many voices of kids in cartoons are voiced by adult women?
Yeah, most of them, Dave, because if a show's on for 30 seasons, they can't always be 12.
I'm just saying that's appropriation. Those women need to be young children and need to work.
I know you're kidding. They're making her step down.
No, they're making her. She's stepping down because I just mean, all right.
Dave, she's not stepping down. Enough. Should not. They're being fucking forced to do this. They're Hollywood fucking cucks, and they feel like they have to do the right thing. Nobody wants to walk away from a job that's been iconic for 30 years. Why the fuck would they do that? They would never leave that job. They should be allowed to sail that ship till it's fucking over. It's not a race thing. It's a control and divide fucking thing. And you know who's next? Fucking teachers. I'm telling you right now. All these teachers that are sitting there going, oh my God, it's so great that no white people should do anything. They're saying that from their little school classrooms. But guess what's next? Now they're going to turn and go, why should white people teach our other children that aren't white? Now you lost your job, bitch. Now you're at open mic with me. Fuck you.
I don't want to learn history from someone who isn't from the culture that I'm learning about.
Yeah.
If someone's going to lie to me about my past, I want them to look like me.
Right.
Because that's what history class is. Lies, motherfucker.
Yeah, if I'm going to learn about the Wright brothers, I need real racist people who fly a plane. That's why I need to teach me this. But it's the this thing they're doing where people are just stepping down. Fucking what's her name from fucking Big Mouth? Jenny Slate has to step down because that's so stupid. She's doing a voice. It's not a person.
But there's
they're impressionists.
Yeah, no one. That's what I was saying about the kids' characters. They're all like middle-aged women voicing the teenage boys. Bobby Hill was voiced by Pamela. What's her name? She was a middle-aged woman.
The great impressionist, Pamela. What's her name?
Yeah, Pamela. What's her name? Everyone loves her.
Well, she's tremendous.
Well, I mean, they're going along with what everybody's doing. Everyone's just fucking giving up. You know what I mean? So I guess they're just
not
going
everyone.
along.
It's just that there's
not me.
Minority. It's the mob mentality. The mob doesn't even know what they're doing. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
They're wearing fucking masks. That's what they're doing because they're hiding their shame, man. It's a fucking ritual. I'm telling you, dude.
I'm wearing a mask, but I'm yelling about this. I fought with everybody. I stupidly posted about this on Twitter and had a real conversation with people. And then I dumbly and blindly put it on Facebook. And then all these fucking people start telling me about how it's racist, this and that, and how I'm old and I'm a boomer and we need to wake up and the world needs to change. I'm like, you think the Simpsons are going to change? And by the way, I came up with a great line that I'll use in a bit from this. I said, the Simpsons are yellow and have 4 fingers. The only people that can play them are injured factory workers. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So by that logic, can you imagine if this came out and Mel Blanc was still doing Looney Tunes? Like that's one guy who, because he's not an animal, can't voice any of the characters. Like the entire series.
People were making that joke, and there were people like, we're not talking about animals. We're not doing. And people said Mel Blanc's rolling his grave. It's still.
But Hank Azaria does like 9 characters for The Simpsons.
Right. And one of the voices that's canceled is Dr. Hibbard, which, by the way, is just a Bill Cosby impression. It's all it is. They're making fun of Bill Cosby. But there's like, you have to get a black guy who rapes people to play the voice now? Like, why? What are we doing?
Maybe.
It's stupid. It's stupid. Society. It's cartoon. There are real problems in the world. Cartoons and statues are not the problems.
I was thinking about this. The idea of cultural appropriation, just from a standpoint of isn't the point of culture to experience a people's heritage, beliefs, art, whatever. So the way you express that, the way you learn through that is by taking part in their culture, like eating their food, wearing their clothing, listening to
not having dreadlocks, Dave. That's where you push the line. I can pull
it off.
White people with dreadlocks, I'm fine with that being canceled.
I figured out what I don't like about dreadlocks. And it's the fact that I can see scalp in between hair. It just creeps me out. Like all scalp is fine, all hair is fine, but when it's that mixed match of some then the other, I don't like it.
Dave hates mixed things. Is that we just learned right there?
That's right.
A lot. Dreadlock sounds like if you were going to be really sad and have like a bagel with cream cheese and salmon on it. I'm having dreadlocks.
They should be futuristic cops eating salmon.
Futuristic cops?
Yeah.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, my joke was better, but I got less. I don't like the word dread. Dreadlock. It should be fun locks or happy locks or pull it while you're fucking me from behind locks or something like that. I don't know.
The I look forward to them locks instead of dread.
Yeah. The exuberant locks. Zoo blocks.
Blue blocks?
Blue blocks. That's not real. Blue balls? That's not real. I'm sorry.
No, blue blocker sunglasses.
I know what you're saying. I just made me randomly go into blue balls are not real. I'm here to say it. That's just men want to fuck. I've been fine. I've been horny than not horny. I didn't die. I'm not going to get crippled. I'm not going to get an injury. I got a boner if not a boner anymore. It's just a great way to guilt a woman into going, you got to take care of me. I'm going to pass out. My fucking balls are going to explode. You're good. We've all had boner than not boner.
Never had it. I've never had my balls hurt because I didn't get laid.
No one has. But that's the creep who's like, the girl's like, I don't want to. Oh, but you fucking tease me. Oh, my God, you don't understand. It's a medical condition. I'm going to die.
Yeah, it's a medical condition. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my God. I'm not putting on a condom because you're a
balls.
Nazi.
Brandon, that should be it. I'm not wearing a mask.
Brandon.
Why not? I have a medical condition. What is it? Blue balls. Blue balls. Here's your food, dude.
Brandon, teach me the law so I can say to a chick when she says you have to wear a condom, otherwise you can't enter. I can be like, no, that's not the law. The law says that I can do this.
No, Dave, that's the law.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Let's all on this podcast, even called Podophiles, just be clear. That's the law. That's her venue. She's allowed to make up any law she wants to. Yeah. And you are not coming inside, literally and figuratively.
The sign said you can't come inside.
Sign says no fucking Dave people need not apply.
So I tucked my wiener up into my legs, and I went in to ask her why.
So how soon do you think it is before I go somewhere without a mask and I'm going to just get like hate shame screamed out of there by a bunch of Karens? Oh, I'm not worried about getting shot. You ever say I'm tall and skinny? They wouldn't be able to hit me. They don't.
You know what?
Come on.
I don't think you're ever going to. You want to know why? You're handsome. I mean it. I mean it. If you were fucking a fat fuck, or you were gross, or something like that, or you were disheveled, you have a good, you clean appearance, you go up there, you're speaking well, you never scream. You're animated and stuff, but you never scream. If for you to get yelled at by women, you would have to go over the top, and that's not you. You actually really believe in what you're saying. You're not doing it for video, viral shit like that. You believe that this is wrong, and you're speaking your mind. I even watched I've watched two managers, quote unquote, deal with you. They weren't mad at you. In a way, you could even see in their face that they get it, because they literally were saying to you, it's not my call. If they really hated you, if you were being a piece of shit, they would have said, get out of my store. You're breaking they'll say that to people. But they're not saying it to you, because you do present yourself as someone who knows what the hell he's talking about. And you don't do that. Now, maybe some heifer woman would do that, but be honest, you're doing it in places where we have to. Boston Market and Moe's, two places where we have to stand in line. Fat bitches are happy you're out of the line. That's all they care about. One step closer to filling their stupid neck. They're psyched. They're like, I wish more people with masks would get through this shit. This is like an easy pass for my fat diabetes. This is fantastic.
Yeah, that's kind of another thing that's hilarious is about wearing masks. All the other stuff that just drives me crazy. You know, you'll see people wearing masks, but then they smoke a cigarette, or somebody who's really overweight that's wearing a mask. It's probably a lot worse for them. I mean, they need the oxygen probably most of all. And then they go to judge you. It's just priceless for me.
I say make the fat people wear masks. I'm tired of them sucking up all they're using way more oxygen than they need because they're fucking gluttons.
Well, this is what I said. Now, when I go to a grocery store and I'm not wearing a mask and everyone else is, I'm actually very thankful. I'm like, thank you for keeping all your toxins and all your bullshit inside your body. I get all this fresh air all to myself. This is amazing. And I wasn't even being sarcastic. I actually felt nice when I left there. I'm like, ooh, this is nice.
There are times where I run to work, and then I'll get to like a half hour early so I can cool down a little bit, get changed, whatever. And then I have to throw the mask on, and that sometimes is tough for the first half hour because I was running and I'm exerted and I want to take it more. So I make sure it takes a half hour, but that's tough. Then I get used to it and it's fine. That is one point. So it's not just the fat fucks. It's the sexy fucks like me. So we're running and everything.
It's everybody. That shit. You're supposed to breathe oxygen. You're not supposed to breathe carbon dioxide.
I went to the gym today, and today was the first day where they actually said, like, I've walked in because I think I told you this. When I went to the gym, the rule was we suggest that you wear a mask when you come in, but you don't have to wear it when you work out. You have to wear it in the locker room. They suggested all that. But since they said that, I'm like, I have to walk in the door of one big room and wear a mask for 2 feet, and then the second I go work out, I can take it off. So I've been walking in without the mask because I'm literally taking it off 2 seconds later in the same room. But today, a girl behind the counter was like, "Sir, actually, I swiped my card, so she did the whole like pretend like she knew me. She stares at the computer and goes, Patrick. I'm like, no one calls me Patrick. But like, Patrick, you're gonna have to wear the mask. We asked that when you walk in and when you go into the locker room, but not when you work out." And I went, okay, but then had no mask on the whole time. So, Brandon, I felt a little like you for a second. I agreed, but I did not pull the mask out for the 2 steps I was going to take. So that one was a little weird. Like you're kind of doing it, but you're not. Either tell me I have to wear the mask the entire time in there, or not at all. But like to choose at the locker room or where they are, because I get if you're trying to do the distance thing, Okay, I get it in the locker room. It's hard to distance. They're closing off every other locker, but you can't distance it. But at the counter, they have the giant plexiglass, hockey glass, whatever. So, like, I could stand where, and I'm not giving them my fucking card key. We have to do it from far away. So I'm already 6 feet apart. I don't need to wear it.
So are there dudes like in the shower with the masks on?
No showers. They're not letting showers happen right now.
They don't. You can't get into fitting rooms. Like, that's weird to me. Clothing stores are open, but you can't use the fitting rooms.
Yeah, nobody should be getting fit.
I am not.
Who's trying on clothes? This day and age, stop trying on clothes. You know what the fuck you are. You don't gotta try it on. Why you gotta be in that?
Because I've been sitting on my ass for the last 2 months, and now I don't know what size I am. I know all I can say is bigger.
Did you get fatter?
Fat ass.
A little.
You're not fat. You're probably still in shape for you.
No, I don't really fit any of my dancing clothes anymore.
What kind of fucking clothes you putting on?
Well, now I went from not having to wear nice clothes, which I had to wear at the dance studio. Now I got to go back to wearing nice clothes for being on TV, and they don't fit anymore.
Like not fit, like a little tight, or like fucking you can't physically put them on.
I have a couple of pair of pants that I'm like, no, these aren't going on no matter what.
I'm at the point now where I gained a little weight, but I was still always wearing the same clothes. But now I'm at the point now where I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to buy other clothes again because things aren't fitting like the other way. I'm like, I'm too fucking small, and I'm 190. Like,
too skinny.
I'm not skinny though. Fucking 195. That's not skinny. And I think I told you guys this. I was at work. They gave me a work shirt, and I was like, oh, all we have is mediums. I go, I'll try it, and it's fucking loose. America's so fat, they're calling 190 medium.
That is the worst. I remember when I was medium, like shopping for mediums everything was at eye level. Back when and then everybody got fat, and now medium was like you had to go to the bottom and start to search.
Yeah, there's like 4XL at regular stores.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's hard for me being tall because if I get a large, sometimes they mean like people are fat, and then if I get something that's like too short for me, and it's like, come on,
you're a thin man.
Eat a salad, all right, people, eat a fucking salad.
Or eat less of the shit. Have meatballs, but have like one bag of meatballs. You ain't gotta have 2 bags of meatballs. Have one bag. I have one cheat day a week. One cheat day. And I eat like a motherfucker on that day. That's it. But the rest of the days, I eat like a human being. And I also run and I go to the gym because I'm alone and I'm sad.
What do you eat on a regular day?
Regular day, I eat meat every day. I've been having like steak or like chicken or something like that every day. Like one meal I have. Nice. And then I have like snacks. I have like when I'm at work, I'll like a little protein bar, or I'll eat something like trail mix or something dumb like that to get through some fruit or something just to get me through the day. But I'm at work all day or running. I don't really eat too much. I drink a lot of water, drink some coffee. That's it. I eat like one meal. But then on weekends, we make the giant bacon, egg, sausage, and cheese biscuits. We get the big Grand's biscuits, the big sausage thing, the bacon, scrambled eggs with cheese. I eat that. I do a crock pot full of meatballs and sausage. We eat that. We had steaks for Seamus's birthday. He wanted those have you seen like the cakes they make, but they're in coffee cups? Like it's like an individual cake. You do it in the microwave. Like he wanted brownies with a la mode. We ate that shit. And that's my Saturday. I just eat like that. And I fucking have that food.
That sounds fantastic. I've been getting into fasting. So
intermittent? Like how many hours?
Well, I started with intermittent and was doing like 16, but then actually my brother turned me on to, I recently did a 48-hour fast.
That's called starving.
Yeah.
That's not fasting. That's starving.
It's amazing. I feel like shit, but I've lost weight. And
yeah, but that's not good loss of weight. You're also losing
muscle.
You need to eat something.
No, so I did that as like a reset, and then basically what I'm down to is I was doing every other day for a while, but now it's like every 2-3 days I'll fast for.
You were doing 48-hour starvation every other day, Dave?
No. I was
Brandon, you on board with that one? No. I want to break down the math real quick. Every other day you were doing 48-hour.
Yes, but I work on a 72-hour day, so it's fine.
This guy's an overachiever over here.
This guy's never eaten. And he's just chugging soda as he says this. By the way, which is worse for you than anything you're eating. Soda.
Oh, no. It's sparkling water.
Well, Dave, we can't afford sponsors right now. Put that back.
It's all right. It's all backwards.
Oh, my God. Soda's what's going to fucking kill you more than anything else.
Mm.
I haven't had soda in years.
In forever.
Yeah.
I miss things like root beer and birch beer, but I don't understand why anyone drinks Coke or Pepsi. That tastes disgusting.
I miss things like being loved for who I am. And soda, I guess.
You know what? I've never missed being loved for who I am.
I love you just the way you are, Bruno Mars.
Just the way you are.
No, you did a different song. You did Billy Joel.
That's the song. It's
Billy Joel.
That's the only line I remember from it. Yeah, see, this guy gets it.
Don't go changing.
In our changing room, cause the clothes.
Cause you're too fat to change in our room.
Cause of COVID.
Because of COVID's coming for you all.
Well, it doesn't make sense though with all these things being closed in the way they are because of a virus, but it does make sense in the context of like, you know, if they're trying to demolition our economy and all the small businesses and all the shit, you know, it's crazy. I think that's why it doesn't make sense.
Because they're just winging it. No one knows what's going on, so they're all just making new rules nonstop. We're gonna can't do this. You can't do this. COVID's on surfaces. People are washing their groceries. Like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, and now it's not on surfaces because it never was because there's no such thing.
People who wash produce have always been kind of weird to me.
Why?
You just wipe it on, like you eat an apple, you wipe it on your shirt. That's it.
Oh, you mean like people bring it home and wash it?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like people who work at the grocery store. I'm like, no, they got to spray that shit off. There's some gross shit going on back there.
All right. If you saw someone at the grocery store who was just like with a scrub brush on the grapes, that'd be weird.
You can't use a giant brush. You have to use a toothbrush. They're grapes.
Oh, that's the worst job. You gotta go brush the grapes. Hey, new guy.
Listen, you know that someone who's not your parents
polished
you to your job. Other words, AKA retarded. If they give you a toothbrush and say you have grape duty, you're sitting there. You're like, I think they're gonna make me a manager, and then the next day you come home pissed and it's like, what's wrong? They think I'm retarded. They gave me the grape brush. I know, Dave. I know. No retards.
Thank you, Pat.
Dave has a flag with a snake wearing a helmet. It says, "Don't tard on me." Oh, pow! It's P-O-W, you retard. Pow, pow, pow me. Don't cry for me. I'm pow me.
How dare you?
The truth is, I'm really retarded. Fucking killing it. I wish Dave wouldn't drink drinks and he has a good laugh every time I'm killing it. I need that fucking laughs. We're not gonna have highlight reels.
No, I got it. The highlight reel is gonna be me drinking and then getting the water out of my beard.
Are you chasing your soda with water?
With water, yeah.
Yeah, I chased my coffee with water and I finished both.
I saw that.
Now.
But you have your water glasses must be green because all I see is you pick up emptiness.
No, they're not. It's a pint glass.
Oh, it was blended to the background.
See through.
I think it shines right through the glass.
You guys could carry this for a second. I need more coffee. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Talk more about masks. Mask it up.
Masking it up. So this is the thing that if you, I knew that they were going to blame. So I listened to this podcast. It's called the Prop Report, the Propaganda Report with Monica Perez. And she's like really amazing. And she's into like conspiracies and all this stuff. And we were talking about, or they were talking about, because I called in a couple times and talked to them and like, I'll tweet them. Or I used to when I listened to it. Yeah, they were really awesome. So we were talking about this thing called Event 201, which was a simulation of this virus that was done by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, World Economic Forum, CDC, all these people. They simulated a virus pandemic in October 2019, and they had phase 1 go, and then there was like a second wave that was much worse. So like after the first phase 1, people didn't think it was that bad. They relaxed. And then in the simulation, the phase 2 went crazy, killed 65 million people. So we had all our thoughts about how they might line this up if this is what they were doing. And one of the things was, when they start the second wave, they're going to blame this on people who weren't wearing masks. Now, we were saying this in February, all right? So to see it happen now, it's crazy to me. So it's like I can see into the future. And I was telling a friend of mine, I'm like, those choose your own adventure books they used to have? I used to love those. Well, I read into the future of ours. And if we keep wearing these fucking masks and just doing what they tell us without saying no, it's not going to end well for those people.
I am totally on board with going down any rabbit hole for conspiracy theories. Just putting that out there because it's my new favorite thing. But my question, Brandon, is when you're doing Choose Your Own Adventure, you read both choices?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, I like to read it and then go back just to see what I missed out on because I got FOMO, if you're missing out.
I'm right there with you. I would always do that, like, okay, which one seems better? And then take that one. And the second it went south, you'd be like, no, let's go back and take the other one.
Yeah, exactly. That was such a great idea, though, the Choose Your Own Adventure. And it's funny when you start to look into these quote unquote conspiracies, it's just basically not listening to the news and looking at facts for yourself. And there's people that will do this. But I also found that you can go down a lot of deep rabbit holes. And my advice to anyone that's starting on this journey is to stop and get to know yourself first, because you could go crazy literally with some of this information you find out. I mean, there's things you can come across where you find that people are controlling weather. I know that sounds really crazy, but it's like you watch this shit and you're like, how the fuck? And they're spraying in certain places and there's a storm, and then they're spraying over China and the US. And it's like, I don't know, it'll drive you nutty. So it's really about getting to know yourself and just, being a guide for yourself. Because if you rely on outside sources and outside, external validation to make sure you're right, then you're going to fucking end up in someone else's ideology.
Huh.
One time back when I was drinking, I woke up in someone else's ideology. And I'm like, not again. Here I am. God damn it. And I do the walk of shame. I was like, man, I was in someone else's ideology.
I came all in there and everything. Squirt.
You know what I think? I think Choose Your Own Adventure books were the original test for autism. Because anyone who just read it straight through I don't get it.
I did. I would be the asshole on purpose. I'm like, just to be a dick, I would get those books and I would go, I'll read all the way through just to be weird. And I would just go all the way through to go, this makes no fucking sense. And then later on, because I did that, I made better choices.
Pat's on the spectrum.
Oh no shit. Are you kidding me? I think we all know that. The only reason we know I'm not autistic is because autistic people are supposed to have feelings. And I'm super sad all the time. But there's some new thing that I am. I'm not right. I'm not doing well. I'm not.
Pat's doing laps on the spectrum.
I'm starting therapy tomorrow.
Oh, good for you.
It's not good for
physical
them.
Or what kind of therapy?
Physical. I'm fucking
art.
One thing I don't need is physical. I broke my heel into 1,000 parts 20 years ago, and I'm running marathons. I fight through shit like David Goggins and an Auschwitz person had a baby. I don't fucking need that shit at all. Up here, noggin shit. I'm battling a lot. I went through a lot of shit recently, and I need to spill it out to some folks. So I'm like, fuck you. I was like, my healthcare covers this, baby. I got that fat black lady with 6 kids healthcare. I'm getting covered like a motherfucker. I'm talking to folks.
Be careful with that, though. A lot of times they just try to give you different pills and
and just you, Brandon, because you and I have talked about that many times, is how I don't like any of that stuff anyway. When I looked around for people, I took on the group of people where I said, to be clear, I'm having more of a counselor. I don't want anyone that can prescribe me anything. I already have a fucking physician, and I know what I need. I need some for my blood pressure, and I have a once in a while, if I can't sleep, anxiety medication that I don't ever get refilled or whatever anyway. It's just if my life is too crazy, but I don't ever really take it. I run for that reason. I work out for that reason.
Yeah.
Podcast for
also
that,
for people who are listening to hear that too, it's good for them to hear, because I've heard horror stories of that, and they don't really know. It's just they try. Here, try this, try that, do a little this, and then.
I mean, it's amazing how many times that they do get it right. I do know people whose lives have changed, and they did need that chemical balance, but it's amazing that they're just taking a gamble and saying hope for the best, and then they're giving people things that don't even mix in together. I don't like that. That scares me anyway. And also, even if I'm a fuck up, I've been a fuck up for 45 years. I don't want to feel like I'm not me. At the end of the day, I can control me the fuck up. You and I have talked about it. I can basically self-analyze myself at this point. I just still can't stop what's happening there. But I've learned how to fucking, basically play the fucking classical music for the crazy bear. That's what I do. I find ways to calm down. I have like this hidden objects game I play on my laptop. If I'm fucking getting sad or my mind's getting nuts, I do sit there late at night and I play this fucking game. It fucking chills me the fuck out.
So if I understand this correctly, Pat, what you're saying is you want to go to therapy, but to fix yourself, like what, 85%?
I don't think
so like that last 15 is just fuck up enough to feel normal.
I don't even want to get fixed. I just really want to. All I want to do at the end of the day is put the things out of my head out there to someone who doesn't know me, so it's out of my fucking head. I just need to kind of like get that weight off because I don't really want to confide in people that I know. Some people do know my shit that's going on, but like for the most part, I just don't want to do that. I also don't want to sit in my own head, and I want to kind of like find a way to justify my decisions. I want to know that some things are my fault and some things aren't, and I'd rather have a stranger tell me that because a friend's going to always make sure that I'm the victim. And there are some things in my life that are decisions that I put on myself and some things that I fucking can't control and people have done to me. And I kind of like to get that out. Now, I've been learning how to do that, podcasting, talking about myself so much more, but I've got a lot of fucking phobias. Like this week alone was the first time I've ever run outside with a shirt off, like since I was a kid. Because, like, I have this fucking phobia of, like, just, like, people looking at me. I have a hairy chest, and I sweat, and I'm like, I might get pale, and I'm like, ew, I'm going to scare people. I have that thought in my head. And I'm not gross, but I made myself go do that. I'm making myself do things I don't want to do to go, you can fucking do this. Because in my head, I was like, I have no problem standing on stage and talking about everything, but I can't go outside with a shirt off. Like, I'm starting to justify it, but I need someone else to help me guide through there. That's what I'm looking for, like a Sherpa.
All right, let me play therapist there. So, Pat, what you're really afraid of is being too sexy.
Yes, because if I'm too sexy, and then people won't realize that I can't back that up because I might be sexy looking, but I'm not sexy. I don't know how to fucking do it. I have no sex drive. We've talked about before. I do like sex, but I'm not that way. So, yeah, when I first lost weight years ago, I had a lot of people I knew for a while in my life who all of a sudden were hitting on me who never gave me the time of day. And I knew it was because how I looked. Because they already knew me as a person. We were friends. All of a sudden, that was the one thing. And that fucking bugged me out. Because I appreciate
because they're shallow bitches.
I appreciate people. Well, they were shallow until I put it inside. Then they were deep, baby. But anyways. But I appreciate people who do warm up to me or like me because I'm a hard person to fucking get to know. Once you do get to know me, you realize I'm not this asshole, but I put up this fucking fence. But like, if you're just going to like me because of how I'm looking better, like this is the best I've ever looked. I don't ever look good, but I make those jokes. Like I've had people yell at me like this week. I said, I'm running to look less gross. And they're like, you shouldn't think that about yourself. I'm like, have you ever seen my act? It's fucking jokes. I'm not sharing real shit on fucking Facebook, you fucks.
See, I'm at the point where I don't want anyone to get to know me. I want you just to be into me physically. Like, you dig me? Yeah. I want you to want me, baby. That's all I want. That's all I want right now is just look at this and be like, ooh, I got to get me some of that.
No, because I don't know what to do with that the next day.
I just want a girl that knows that government is slavery. And I'm like, yeah.
I feel like between the three of us, we're the perfect man for someone.
She's like, I'm down with the slavery part. Like, get the fuck out, bitch. I don't know about the government, but I'm pretty cool with slaves. That's all I want, though, in life. And I'm not ready for anything like that now, but I'd rather just have conversations with people. And I think right now the problem is I like chatting, texting, all that stuff, but just chatting with people, getting to know them. But, yeah, getting to know a female. Like, that's kind of what I like. But I don't really want to go out with anyone, like even on a date. I don't even want to go to that next step, and that frustrates people, I guess. But I'm not there. I'm not ready for it in many ways. And I don't want to be ready for it right now.
I think I'm finally actually ready, which is crazy. I think I am. I don't think women are probably ready for me, but
you all ready for this?
Not around here. I mean, I can't even have conversations like. It's like I can't do small talk anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's like so much is going on and has happened, and people want to talk about like the fucking weather. I'm like, I can't do like
the weather. The weather's not real.
I'm just gonna go back to my house. Yeah, exactly.
How do you? So the more I start to check out conspiracies and just go down rabbit holes like that, I am legitimately worried that I'm going to be like, okay, I can't talk to anyone ever again. How do you handle that?
I don't talk to anybody.
Good. All right.
I'm the opposite. I now learn. It took me a long time to realize that what I have to say is worth saying, even if other people don't want to hear. I don't mean that like in a cocky, like I never thought what I had to say was worth saying out loud, and everyone would just wait for me to shut the fuck up. I know, but without me, the two of you would be quiet, drawing on your phone. So I've learned I have a value.
Yeah, how's that penis coming, Brandon? Let's see it.
First of all, can you say drawing?
My drawing. That's what I got so far.
In the middle of that conversation, Dave yells out, "How's that penis coming?" Well, out the hole. That's how it's coming.
No, I actually don't mind talking to people
large
about
spray
it,
like the Bellagio.
But I found that like when I do start, people will either gloss over, their eyes just gloss over. You know, it's like.
Are we still talking about the penis and coming? Eyes glassing?
Penis and cum are the moments you two can share. I just, at the end of the day, I do like me. And I want to not make that. I don't want that to get to the point of cockiness. And I think talking with someone can help that. But it took me a long time to like me. And I didn't, and I do. And then certain people in my life kind of beat me down from that again. And I can't blame them. I'm not even blaming people that did that. I just want to justify that I'm okay for what I'm saying. No one's going to tell me I'm not worth it. But at the same time, I got to deal with thinking like that all the time. When people approach me to talk to me, I always think there's a fucking angle or end game or they expect something from me that I don't have.
So I need to ask like a format question here, because Pat, you said I like me, and so the comedian in me wants to rip on you for that, but the real person is like, oh, good for you, Pat. So which way are we going here?
Well, no, Dave, but that's actually the comedian that made me that way. Comedy taught me to love me some me because I'm on stage thinking my thoughts are worth being said while people pay to hear them. I've finally learned that I can control the crazy thoughts I have and make them universal, that people can get where I'm going, that I do have a unique view and idea that can make people laugh but also think a little bit. Before that, I didn't have that outlet, and I thought everything I was thinking was fucked up. So the comedy part is what's made me love me some me, because I'm like, I have confidence in a thing I can do finally. So that's where that fucking comes from. So it really is from the comedy thing. And I have to. No one on, even self-deprecating people are obviously love themselves because they think about themselves so much. They've thought of their flaws and how to make it fun. It's a selfish business, comedy. We have to think about ourselves and think our thoughts are the best. Even a person who says they're humble, you can't be humble if you're on stage in front of folks talking.
I don't understand when I get a good one. I don't understand. For me, it's I don't understand how you people haven't had this thought.
You people, blacks.
Whoever. I mean, I play well in any audience.
Not if they got dreadlocks.
But that's just fucking weird.
There should be everybody than dreadlock water fountains, right, Dave?
You know what? I misspoke. It's less about dreadlocks and more about cornrows, because that's you actually see you just see all.
That's why you were going to be a cotton farmer, not a corn farmer. Fuck them rows.
That's right. I can't stand the rows.
The Indians called it maize.
Amazing.
Corn maze. It's a maze. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just thinking, meanwhile, Brandon's over there just wishing he could whisper sweet.
But you were saying if you get a good one and then you stop. You are making a point. You have a good one. You're on stage. Dave, you're a confident guy. You like yourself. Brandon, you like yourself. I know that for a fact. There's nothing wrong with liking yourself.
Yeah, I think that's what my problem was. I think I had a low self-esteem, and I had to get over that in order.
That's what the sex addiction was about, obviously. That you thought being with other people and doing those things would make you more likable. That's why you're doing that. Yes, sex too, but that your mentality of
it's part
I'm with someone, I'm worth something. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it all comes really from childhood. It's just the way that children are raised in the society. We're always taught that we have to get all our validation from external sources. It's like we have to listen to everybody, everything they say. It's wrong. It's wrong. And then whenever we start to get older and get intuition, that's the devil. Don't listen to that. That's your evil voice. You got to do what the doctor or what the priest says, what the teacher says, what the police say. So.
And those people were kids that didn't learn shit, and they got older, and all of a sudden they're passing down the thing that was said at them.
Yep.
It's the craziest thing. We learn wrong. We should be doing child labor, but we should be like working and stuff more when we're younger and learning things when we're older, when we know what we want to learn. Yeah, we might learn better and take in things better when we're younger, your minds are open to it and all that kind of stuff. But when we get older, you know what path you want to go down. Going to college at 18 is ridiculous. You should be working, trying out a million jobs, doing all different trades, set like that. And then like 30 or so, this is what I want to do. I know what I want to do. This is where I want to go the rest of my life because I understand what life is now. We do it all backwards and fucking wrong anyway.
So when you guys were kids, like I watched a shit ton of TV, and I had inside my head that like, the lovable loser character was always one of the heroes. So like that was a model for me. An example.
Give me an example.
Like who? Steve Urkel. Steve Urkel was a lovable loser.
I didn't think there was anything lovable about Urkel. He was an awful menace who came over and annoyed them and wanted to be real. He was fucking.
But he was part of the family.
He was coming over trying to fuck Laura, give me the puss, Laura, and he's just harassing them. And Carl, proving that cops aren't terrible people, didn't beat the shit out of him. Carl let it go. Carl should have fucked him up. That should have been some black on black crime. That motherfucker, that wasn't lovable. Most of the loser characters I never found lovable. I was like, fucking loser.
What about I can't remember what DJ Jazzy Jeff's name was on Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
He was like
yeah, it was Jeff.
It was Jeff.
It wasn't
his first
Jack.
name's not DJ Jazzy.
It
was Jeff. It was his fucking name.
No, he had it.
What was Will Smith's name in the show, buddy? Will. They knew they couldn't act. If they called him the wrong name, they wouldn't turn around. Jeff. His name was Jeff.
I don't think that's true.
Someone's probably watching this and going, "The fucking Jeff Beck is so jazzy, know everything."
It was like he had a one name like Cher, but it was cooler. It was, this is my friend. His name is.
Will did not talk like that, you racist fuck. Will talks whiter than the three of us combined.
No, Carlton was the whitest one on that show.
Carlton was actually, I remember Carl. It was weird to see him there. I remember him from Silver Spoons when he would do the Michael Jackson impressions. That was my favorite.
I never watched Silver Spoons.
Well, I mean, how much older am I? I'm older than you. That was a big show.
How much? What are you, 45?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like 4 years older than me.
Right, but TV time, I was a young kid watching that show and liking it a lot because I was like the age, a little younger than Ricky Schroeder. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you were too young to fucking really think. Alfonso Ribiosa, how you pronounce it, was around because he did a commercial when Michael Jackson was popular and not fucking kids yet, and he would do a Michael Jackson impression and look just like, and did all the dance moves and wore the glove. So they started having him on because it was Ricky Schroeder and Jason Bateman on that show. Bateman was the asshole neighbor who was a dickhead other rich kid, and Schroeder, his mom was poor, but his father had money. He didn't live with his father, but his father took him in, then he got to ride a train and shit, and then he once in a while let a black kid come in his house and dance. You know, like white rich people do.
That sounds like 80s, all right.
Silver Spoons. Which was a good show. I would watch Silver Spoons and Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster, I remember. My favorite thing about Punky Brewster, we need the very special episode. I remember the very special episode of Punky Brewster where someone has a heart attack and Henry doesn't know how to do. Henry, the 65-year-old adult, looks at the 5-year-old Punky Brewster and says, "Punky, I don't know what to do." And Punky's like, "We learned this in school," and starts doing CPR. And
on a heart attack. on a heart attack. CPR. She's not even breathing. His heart's exploding, you dumb bitch. Get off him. They tell Henry, hey, Henry, know what you do? You call the fucking police. You call the ambulance, Henry. You don't save a day. What do you hassle off? Get the fuck out of there.
I missed that. I missed tonight on a very special episode of Punky Brewster. The whole cast is out there. Everyone's wearing sweaters, and they lay it down why this was important.
Yeah. My favorite one of that, and it's been joked about forever, whatever, Different Strokes, when Gordon Jump owned the bike shop, and fucking Dudley was back there wearing his fucking safari outfit and a hat, and Gordon Jump was going to fuck the shit out of Dudley behind that bike shop. And Gary Coleman, they were hanging out with this cool guy who wanted to make movies with them. And I'm like, are they really going down this road? And why is the guy from WKRP in Cincinnati going to fuck this kid? What happened to Gordon Jump? That's a tough role to take, Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, do you think how excited was he about that role? Was he like
He's as excited as Chris D'Elia was to play that role in You?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I get to groom bitches. That's what I do. I don't even think he did anything wrong when you hear about it, but I'll tell you right now, I never found him fucking funny. I would watch and go, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. I want to get it.
Yeah.
I think he was doing, to be honest with you, his jokes were skewed for people half his age. He's like your age, Dave, and he's doing those jokes. I don't think he was grooming girls. I think he was doing research for his act. How do you guys talk? Let me figure this fucking out.
I always thought D'Elia was like he was good. I liked him off the cuff, like when I saw him do stuff and do crowd work. And he is, I will say this, physically, and that's something I miss in a lot of comedy. Like he was physically really talented. Like just his movement.
I think you're confusing him with Dane Cook.
No, Dane Cook was
physically very talented.
Hey. He was physically.
I think you're confusing him with Dane Cook. Chris D'Elia wasn't really physical. He just goes, nah, wah, meh. That's his punchlines. Meh, meh. And he's Justin Bieber's favorite comic. Fuck you.
That's probably where he got all the girls from.
Yeah, when he did Bieber's roast, Bieber had him on it. Like, it was all real comics, and then D'Elia wasn't big then, but he got to be on because he was his favorite comedian. And he actually made a joke saying, "Oh, great, now that's out there, thanks." But D'Elia, yeah, that's a weird move. That whole thing. The women that are coming out saying everything about him and what he did, they are leaving out some shit. He never fucked anybody. He wants to fuck things that are young. And that's fucking creepy, like too young. But he never did anything. And most of the time, I think every time they found parts that he would find out their age and go, okay, and back off. And then they weren't putting that part in there. So he was being a creeper.
It seems
he was
like
fucking waiting. He was counting down the clock.
Yeah.
It was final countdown to the puss. Like, but like once he didn't do anything. He's just a creep, and he's being weird to women, and I get all that. But for all these fucking people in Hollywood, all the comics from the Comedy Store now just separating from him, it's like, dude, it's fucked up. Like, what's his name? Sam Tripoli had a great fucking take on it, and he was saying, any person that was ever worked at the store when D'Elia was there, he'd put his name on that fucking thing, and you'd make more money, and you'd have a ton of people there. And he was always cool to you and doing that. For you to fucking say, fuck him, I never liked him, you all loved it when he was making you fucking money and getting you in front of crowds at the fucking Comedy Store by showing up every night. To turn around and hate on him now without knowing what the fuck's going on. And Tripoli kept saying that, too. He's like, if they find out what he's doing is really he really did things to girls, then fuck him. But if not, how fucking dare we all fucking just shit on him and fucking push him aside and say, fuck you, this dude who did help out a lot of people and didn't really hang out there besides whatever. A couple people have talked out. Now, it's creepy to have that mindset. Yeah. Well, like we talked about before, like it definitely, we've all looked at a girl quickly and went, there's a girl at my gym now who wears pants that look like a fucking, like a batter's glove. Like when you're a baseball player, like it has all the grip so much. There's a line and a groove going in her butt. She has like special padding on her butt. She turns around and her face looks like a 13-year-old warlock because she's like 15. She got a weird fucking smashed face, but she has this butt. She wears these pants. No matter what age you are, you can't not turn your head. She's just slinging butt. And I don't even like butts, but she's just slinging it. And you turn and you look. And, of course, you're looking for a second. But you don't go fucking find out her age and wait till the fucking fruit is ripe.
How do you not like butts?
I don't like butts.
Like, at all?
Like butts.
No, I just mean like
tiny
aesthetically.
I like a
Really?
tiny butt. I like a handful, not a. I don't need a wheelbarrow full of fucking shit.
Dude, totally legs and ass. That's where it's at.
No thanks. I like vagina and boobs, the things that make them a woman. Everyone's got butts.
Yeah.
Everyone has butts.
Yeah.
You like everyone?
I'm just saying, legs and ass. That's where it's at.
Yeah. You know what? I'm on board, Dave. If they don't have legs, it's hard for me.
Are you kidding me? If they don't have legs, it's easier for me.
Well, it's easier for you. Just throw them in the drawer when you're done. That's fine. Whatever. I used to do that dumb joke on stage. People laugh. I hate myself. I'm like, people ask me what I like in a woman. I'm like, eyes. They gotta have them. I'm not gonna fuck a jack-o'-lantern.
What do you like in a woman? My
not
penis.
Again.
See, I'm not going to answer this because then I'm going to – listen, I'm the one who's not supposed to come off gay, and I do. But legitimately, if I can't have a conversation with you, you know, a pretty face, I can't fucking deal with you. I don't care about the body. I really don't.
I want to make fun of you so bad, but just I'm at the point now where, like, this is what I like about being in my 40s. Hot is not enough to put up with just stupid and boring anymore.
Well, they're not putting up with it. Like, listen, I find people attractive, but just like, if you can't make me – I want to be able to laugh with you. I don't want you to tell me I'm funny and then be happy that I tell you that you're – that's a thing I get a lot. Right away, if I say to a girl, oh, what do you like about me? And I'm like, I don't know, you make me laugh. Oh, my God, that means a lot coming from you. Like, well, not really. It's just, yeah, I understand what my job is. But, like, you know, but, like, that's a weird thing. If you can't make me laugh, you can't make me think, you can't intrigue me a little bit, then I don't want to talk to you. And yeah, I have to be able to look at your face. You can't fucking scare the fuck out of me.
Pat, you really are a woman. You have to get me here before you can get me here.
Yeah. It's not called a woman. It's called fucking having feelings, David. I've learned I had this like 2 years ago. I just caught up.
I'm talking about when you're a kid, like, and you're just raging hormones. You don't give it, like, you have no concept of how to get to know a person.
I didn't. Yeah, I did. I've always been in long relationships. I've never just dated. I've never just like dated one person one time. I've always been in long relationships.
I've had one long relationship, 2 years, and that's the longest relationship I've ever had. Everything else has been a dalliance.
My first girlfriend was like 2 years. And then, like, always through life. And then my marriage, 10 years before that, college, I had one like a year or so. In college, I guess you call it dating a little bit. I had like a slew of drunken sleeping with people, but it wasn't even dating. I was just living in a rugby house. There was parties, and I was just being an animal. But that was more just about like not understanding shit, and also being mad that I broke up with a girl that I probably should have stayed with. Then the second my marriage was over, fuck. I mean, I think you knew me back then. I'm like, Brandon. But like the second I got separated, I dated a girl like 3 weeks later, and we were together for a couple of years. And I really like, that's one I probably should have never let go. I couldn't talk. She was a sweetheart, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. Heart of gold, but just could not have a conversation with her. I'm not saying she was dumb. It just couldn't do it. But I cared about her and kept her around. But then I started dating other people that started making me nuts. But but they had this kind of drive and passion that I had for things, and I confused passion for crazy a fucking lot. You know, it's like a lot. Like, I think it's passion. I'm like, oh, you're nuts, but I don't see it. But I'm also nuts. So yeah, it's all mental shit. If I'm a lady, then fuck yeah, I'm an independent woman, bitch.
See, for me, I'm at the point now where I know when there's an attraction. Like, I'm not this like, oh, I wonder if she's into me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the attraction.
I can tell. So there's that. For me, it's got to start with that. Like, okay, she digs me and I dig her back. And then if there's that, and I want to get to know
me and I dig a grave. The Dave Hintz story.
I dig you a grave.
Brandon, you're that way. I think we're similar in that. If you can't have a conversation, I know you're joking about like the laws and things, but if you can't have an intelligent conversation, if some girl doesn't give a fuck about what's going on in the world, you couldn't talk to her.
I'm pretty serious. I can't I mean, you know, especially if I'm gonna
if you're devoting your life to fucking making sure the world understands they're being duped, you can't be with some dummy who just likes the Kardashians. No way.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Unless they're open-minded to stuff, you know, you're right. Yeah, I can't.
Okay, here's the question. What if you meet someone, are you willing to let someone come to this on their own time? Like if they're
sure.
Open-minded, but not where you're at.
Yeah, that's fun. Listen, not a lot of people are where I'm at. I had to do a lot of work. So if they're open-minded, yeah, that's fine. But I can't have somebody like that's like, I'm voting for Trump or I'm voting for Biden because that's, you know, like that's 100% on board. Then wants to tell me then wants to just give me all the talking points of their party that I'm like, I already know what you're going to say to me. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't do that.
Well, knowing Brandon, and I'm kind of that way too, but Brandon, not even just like with Dave, with his friends and stuff like that. The reason why Brandon and I get along a lot is because there's a lot of things that I know about that Brandon doesn't, and a lot of things that Brandon knows about that I don't. And we both are very open to asking questions and learning shit. Our minds are never closed to shit. I like talking with Brandon about the stuff he's learned and done research on because I'm like, I don't know about it. And I might have one thought, but there's a couple things Brandon's turned me around on, some things I haven't turned around on, but we learn from each other. I like dating people who don't have the same views as me. But like Brandon said, if their reason for the views are just mob mentality or sheep shit, and they're just saying, why don't you like Trump? Yeah, because he's orange and little hands and grab him by the pussy. I'm like, what are you just saying things? But if you have a real reason for it, then great. Or if you don't like Biden, but great. Or we don't have to care about politics at all. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. That's not something that's going to change how we go through life for the most part, if I'm going to be dating you or whatever. So I don't really care about that, but if I can't learn from you, if I can't get new experiences from you, then I got no use for you.
I just want to say really quickly, the other thing I wanted to add was that also, if they're not open to working on themselves, because most of people's problems are themselves. They're creating their own problems, because I was creating my own problems and I figured it out, and maybe I still am to some degree. But if somebody's not open to that, then that's another thing I wouldn't be able to deal. I can't, because you can't fix people, like people who are, they are. If they want to do the work, then they do the work. You can't sign up to fix somebody,
That was a problem I had for a fucking while. I wanted to be fixed, but I also was attracted to people that I thought needed saving. And I can't save anybody. I couldn't even fucking fix myself for the longest time. So it was a weird battle thing. And I still once in a while get caught in that. And I don't know exactly where that comes from in my life. Probably, weirdly enough, I hate to say it, probably comes from being raised by a single mom who was on her own doing things. And when I see a woman struggling, I'm like, I need to help. Type deal, but like, I can't help. And I don't know how to help. I can't even fucking help myself. I'm fucking worse off than they are. And then I bring them into my world. And I'm also very open to taking help because my mom had to take help. So sometimes people see that and go, oh, he's just needy. He just wants to take. I'm like, no, if you offer me help and I'll say to you, please don't do that because it's going to seem like I'm using you. I'll fucking say that out. They're like, I'm never going to say that. I would never say that. And then the first argument is your user. You know what I mean? So it's used against me all the time. And I get it. But like, that's my mentality. So that's why I'm going to therapy.
So for me, one of the things, for what Brandon was saying, one of the things for me, like I absolutely adored my students back when I was teaching, and I liked a lot about what I did in my job. But one of the things that was just incredibly,
make it clear to people, by the way, you taught adults how to dance.
Yeah, I was a ballroom.
I know, but they're like, he really loved his students. They're like, yeah,
everybody was legal. And
in age, I'm guessing a lot of them were not in this country on their own.
No, actually, everybody was legal. We had a couple
that ID that said Ann Wilson, and she's like got a Brazilian mustache.
Brazilian mustache means it's waxed.
Yeah, it does.
One of the things that was trying to get people over their own hurdles, like everybody, I really believe that everybody presents their own unique challenges for learning, but everybody also has the way to get around those challenges. So one of the things that was most just draining to me was having to be with someone who was, you could see they were getting in their own way. And the only time I ever got frustrated was, for me, frustration would show when I didn't know how to help that person. And it was the, I know you can do this, I'm going to show you how to do this, and fighting against and being like, I can't, no, it's no way, it's never going to happen. That was exhausting. So I'm with you on that. It's not, you cannot change someone. It's not your job to change someone. And I'm
no kidding.
But Pat, to what you said, the thing I've been spinning on, I really do believe this is I think this is true. Like I like strong women. I only want to be with a woman who is engaging, intelligent, is capable. But I also I want to take care of her. And the stronger she is, the more capable she is, the more I will break myself to try and be someone who she can say, oh, this guy can take care of me. Like I think that's a very male behavior. I don't think it has anything to do with what we think a woman is capable of. I think there's a part of man that wants to be, for lack of a better term, wants to be the hero. And that will always be in every man. For me, I think I know it's always going to be part of me, but I think it's a very masculine behavior that I want to, let me help, let me save.
Possibly, but I think it could be a male thing. I think it also is an experience thing where you're raised from thing, where your life you've seen thing. Because there are plenty of people that don't give a fuck about that are men at all. And I mean in a bad way, but they're not looking about saving or nothing. They want to be taken care of fucking fullest. There's many men who just want a woman to take care of them and not save fucking anybody and just fucking have all that shit happen. So I think it could be either way. I think it's more depending on what you learned as you're younger and experiences that you had and were around you in that sense. But like I used to think the same way, like I like a strong woman or like this and that. But now I've realized that's blanketing shit that I shouldn't do. Like I meet a person, I like that person. I don't put them in a group because there's a lot of strong women that I'm like, get the fuck away from me. You're too strong, baby. Like, are you too much? So it's not about a strong person or a weak person or a go-getter or a sit-back. It's who's fitting what I need in my life. I don't ever need, I'm learning this now. I don't need anyone in my life. I would love to share my life with someone, but I don't need anyone to be complete. I don't need a relationship to define me or need me. And I thought that for a while. If I'm not with someone, I'm a loser. But not that. I want to find someone who, when I have spare time, I enjoy the company they give me, and they're like icing on the cake. They're not the fucking cake.
I hate the term better half. I hate it because I don't want to be half of anything. I want two wholes. I want a whole person.
Unless you're a Siamese twin, then I love it. It's so mean to the other one. I'm the better half. Like, I know, we don't know.
I think what happens is we see flaws in ourselves, and what happens in people that look for other people that have flaws and want to try to fix them, they see flaws in themselves, so they look for people or drawn to people who are flawed because then they don't feel they're like, well, I'm a little inadequate, but this person is too, so maybe they won't notice, or I can work on it and we can work together and we can fix each other, but that's not usually what happens.
I just realized that if I was going to do a podcast like Brandon's, it would be called More Flaws, More Problems. I just realized that.
Exactly.
It's exactly my entire life. Just throw one F in that bitch, and that's me. More flaws, more problems. And a bitch ain't one. It really isn't. It's all me.
Mine would be called The Problem Is You.
But do you mean yourself or other people?
It's open to interpretation. I would just. Yeah, it's you.
Or you spelled it E-W-E.
Sheep. Those goddamn fluffy female sheep eating all the grass.
Goddamn cuck sheep. Get the fuck out of here. Goddamn stupid ass cuck sheep.
Cucked ass sheep.
Cuck sheep. Have you any wool? I don't know. I have to watch my wife get fucked by a black sheep in the corner. Dave fucking couldn't finish that laugh until he fucking had 2 more drinks.
So I like to stay hydrated.
People are like, when are they gonna fucking show the kids? On the episode with Pat, they showed lots of kids, and now they're called Podophiles. Why are they talking about love? Why are they talking about self-love? Where's the kids? Well, you can't love a kid till you love yourself.
That's right.
You don't know when the kid's going to show up in the podcast. That's how we reel them in.
All 3 of us just grab our lap, pull a head up, and go, bah, 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 bah.
Wait, now I'm confused. Is it a child head or is it an old wrinkly head?
Child head. We are the old wrinkly Six Flags guy. Because to that kid, we look like him.
That Six Flags old wrinkly guy was actually a woman, so she should get fired for not being an old wrinkly man.
I thought he died.
I don't know if that person.
I think there was a guy too. I think there was a woman for the dance moves, but there was a guy walking, and then they had a dance move.
Yeah, and the one that went crazy, like the stunt person, was a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was always a woman in just in a rubber face, which is blackface for the aged.
For the aged. So whenever the aged gain power, we're all screwed.
Hi, my name is Johnny Knoxville, and I have a confession. 20 years ago in a show called Jackass, I wore rubber face. It was wrong. I was at an earlier time. The world was different. And I would put it on and I would pretend I was old. And I wasn't old. I was young. And I'm sorry to all the old people I hurt, to the jobs I took away from people that should have been dead, for all that died of COVID. I'm sorry. My name's Johnny Knoxville, and I'm a jackass. That's the Jimmy Fallon speech for Johnny Knoxville. It'd be perfect. Apologizing for blackface.
Oh man, should we get our apologies out of the way? I feel like I should do that because this is obviously going to take off. We're going to be super famous.
Dave, my entire life is me saying sorry. I've had 5 relationships where, like, stop saying sorry all the time. Like, that's all I do. So the one thing is, even if I do something fucked up, I've apologized for it a million times. I own up that I fucked up all the time. So I'm good.
All right, then I'm sorry that I'm hanging out with Pat.
By hanging out, it means that the only way you get decent gigs is by driving me. That's fine.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. Kidding me? That's my bread and butter.
I miss gigs. I do.
Oh, yeah.
So, Brandon, is this the part where we're done? Did we do it?
I think so. I was just going to say, I think we're
through.
I think we're done.
Are we going to record like a bunch and then put them all out like when you hold the hose and squirt it? Or are we just going to fucking do one at a time and hope for the best?
Squirt.
I'm down with I'm in with the let's get a bunch in the hopper one just to.
Yeah, because I don't think anything was time sensitive on this. I mean, the kids might be legal by then.
I also feel like we're starting to kind of get our rhythm, and a couple more would help solidify that.
All right, well then, fine. I know it's on the air, but I don't care. I think this is going to be a big test for me because I'm now trying to play with others because, like, everything I do, I fucking take. I know that, and I'm going to try. That's why I'm happy Brandon.
Is that why you keep sending me nudes?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I'm over here just playing with myself.
I held that paper up earlier before the podcast saying send nudes. By the way, not a joke.
Is that what that said?
Be a good friend.
Yeah, mine send nudes. I couldn't think of anything funny to say.
Dave kept saying no audio, and I just wrote back no shit on my paper. Like,
that's the one that set me over the edge.
Yeah, we're yelling at you the entire time. No, but here's my thing with the podcast. I think we have to do this in 3 ways. So here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm recording it. I'll take care of the audio aspect of the show. Brandon, I think you're going to be in charge of the video clips, things like that. Dave, you're promotion boy. You share it. We'll all work on social media, but I think we at least need a Twitter and possibly an Instagram and a YouTube channel.
Okay.
We'll help all with that, but I think if you do that part, I made the logo.
You did. You made the hell out of it.
Which, by the way, talking to the two of you about that, Seamus was dying. So I'm coming up with the idea. I do that. I spelt it. I said, Podophiles. Poda files. I said it to Brandon. He goes, go O. And I'm like, why? He goes, I wanted to make it 2 letters away so it's not as close. Brandon goes, right to the edge. Go to the edge. So then I sent it to Dave. And at the beginning, the finger was straight up and down. And Dave's like sideways, like hip hop. And I'm like, I didn't realize you were kidding. So I'm like, I look at my Seamus and I'm like, I'm not going to fucking turn it sideways. What the fuck? So I'm sitting there, I turn it sideways, and you're like, yeah, it looks like they're diddling now. By the way, I was kidding. I'm like, fuck you. I worked on the logo. I wrote Podophiles on my phone.
All right, I'll take advice on how to do the social medias because I'm super inept at that. But I'm willing to take that
all
on.
we're doing is you have to do is just fucking. We need to have a thing where when we put it on. Therefore, we're sharing it here this day, sharing it there that day. We'll give you the information to do like that, but like you'll be share boy. Because Brandon and I have 15 podcasts, so like we have to share all that other shit.
Fair enough. So
I've got another show I got to start doing weekly. I've got fucking
while we're just talking about the direction of the show, and I'm not looking for hard and fast answers, but for me, there's just
that's a hard and fast answer.
Starting the podcast versus where we end it. Like in the beginning, I was very like, all right, if I'm going to go funny, I don't want to really talk about shit I actually believe. That's just where my mind was at. But towards the end, it's like, it's just an actual conversation. So is it a conversation about shit, or are we trying to look for the funny and like railroad that in, or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's life. Sometimes you make a joke in a conversation. That's why I think our three dynamics work. Sometimes Brandon could really get on a roll with things, that even when he's really getting on the things he believes in. He knows I'm listening and paying attention, but also just the way I am naturally, I'm going to throw in 18 puns. And Brandon likes puns, so we laugh with each other. Dave, you and I will look at things that are not funny ever and laugh our asses off at it.
Oh my God,
that also helps in this situation. So what I want you to do with this podcast is be Dave Hintz. Don't fucking, if you want to cram in a joke, cram in a joke. If you don't, that's fine. That's how we should go. Sometimes I can be the guy who makes 1,000 jokes. Everyone says, shut the fuck up. And sometimes I'm a sensitive Robert Frost motherfucker, and people enjoy that too. I'm a complex individual, baby.
So this is part of me also, like, learning the etiquette, because there's sometimes where I just want to blurt, and I don't want to. What does it actually do? Does it cut everybody else off?
Well, it will then. Eventually, and I hope soon, we're recording this together in one room. I think that'll be more fun. I'm sitting in the Pato Studios, which is my living room that I've turned into a fucking waiting room for a doctor's office. It's not happening. I've got a desk here. I've got my whole couch in front of me. We can have all things set up. It can be all good.
I'm trying to figure out how to get I'm trying to figure out how to get a better casting session, which means it'll be in my recording studio, also known as my closet.
Yes. That's there. So but right now I have it set up. So right in front of me is my fucking sectional couch where the two of you could sit, and I'm in front of this thing here. And we can, now video wise, we're going to have to set up cameras better. This is the part of the podcast. I was like, go back to the love, but whatever. You get behind the scenes. We're podophiles. We're talking about podcasting. That's what it is.
And I think if you blurt out something, every once in a while, as long as it goes with it and flows and it's funny, it's okay. It's just that if somebody's doing all the time, obviously that's when it's an issue. But sometimes it's like you got to throw something in there. It's like the timing of it.
Right. But, and it's going to be like right there. Brandon was almost done, and I jumped in. Brandon did the stuff back. I also would have stopped. We'll start learning that about each other. With the timing when you're going to jump in, I'll go, okay, he's popping in. Take a breath. Go there that way.
Because I will be polite, like, to a fault, which is why it happened early in the recording where it was like, okay, Brandon was going, then Pat, you were going, and like I had to. All right, Brandon said this, and then you said that. But it was like the politeness of I don't want to step on anyone is I could have added to the conversation, but I waited until the end of it, so it feels like I'm going back 5 minutes later.
Perfect. 'Cause I have a goal now to fucking fire you up to the point where you start yelling at me during my conversation. That'll work wonderfully. You don't think that's happened to me my whole life? That's how I'm comfortable with mobs screaming at me.
This is what you need to understand when I say I'm polite to a fault. I walked in between a drug deal that was happening. One dude was buying the drugs, leaning on a car. The other dude was selling the drugs, leaning on my car. And I was walking out of the convenience store, and I startled the guy, and he dropped the baggie of drugs. So I went, oh, you dropped this. I picked it up and handed it back to the drug dealer. I incriminated myself by leaving evidence, and like, here you go, gentlemen, and have a good night. And both of them were like, what the fuck just happened?
Speaking of dropping things, and we can end soon, I'm sure it's almost 2 hours. I was at work, and I was, doing the retail thing, putting things away, whatever. And they do an announcement over the speaker, and they're like, Pat to the service desk. And that usually means like someone bought furniture. They're going to make me carry it out there or help out with something or maybe run a register or something like that. So I walk up. My manager looks at me and goes, I need you to assess a spill in the back, and you might need to get James, another guy, to help you. I go, assess a spill? Spill? Why do I have to like inquire? She just looks at me and goes, please walk to the back and assess this. All right. So I start walking back. I'm looking way back to the store, looking for like juice or something or whatever. And I'm walking, and right near the couches, I look down, and there's human shit. Human shit is on the ground. 3 or 4 different logs of human shit. And I went, oh, I get it. I'm the one who's not going to yell shit like out loud. And so I'm the assessor. So James comes by. I go, James, just turn around. You get a mop bucket, and I'm going to get like some spray and gloves. He's like, what are we doing? I'm like, there's poop. He's like, what? He goes, why are we the crew? I'm like, I don't know why we're the crew. So we go back. I get the spray. I get the fucking thing. I get like a dustpan, and I get a little brush. That damn, I'm just going to flick it in because it looks like little hard, like crunchy, like little candy bars. So I'm like that. So people are walking by, but no one's looking down for shit because you're in a store. You don't think shit. People are just walking by and not thinking of what it is. They just
looking up like it's the best thing ever.
big lots, not look downs. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I start sweeping it up, but I realized that because it's a little warmer in the store, it's got a little like melted Milky Way-ish, and I go to rub it, and now it's streaking like skid marks. I'm like, fuck. So now I don't know what to do. So I'm like, all right, we're throwing this out. So now I got gloves, I got spray, and I'm scrubbing, trying to get this thing up. And James is just mopping with a lather like he's going to shave his face. Like, there's so much soap. I'm like, dude, too much soap. He goes, it's better than the other thing. I'm like, all right. So he's just going, he's doing that. We clean it all up, put the wet signs back. We go in the back. I turn to my manager. I'm like, we're throwing out this dustbin. She's like, yeah, get that in the fucking dumpster. We're going to poop on it. So I throw it back there. And then she looks at me. And I said, what the fuck was that? She goes, without even skipping a beat, just goes, old people. I'm like, what? She goes, see it all the time. They're super old. Somebody brings them in like a service helper or whatever, brings them in. They're so old, their diaper fills, and they drop it out their leg like fucking gumballs coming out of a machine. I'm like, and I'm looking around at every old person like, you motherfucker, it was fucking you. So then I go back to doing my job, putting things away. About 5 minutes later, the girl at the register, she's about 50 yards away from me. Instead of saying anything, she makes eye contact. I can feel someone looking at me. And I look and she goes, Pat. I'm like, oh, God. So I walk over. Now, weirdly enough, there was no trails or marks or like footprints from the poop back there throughout the aisles. But whoever got up to the registers made skid mark trails through all 3 register lines. Now I'm like, James. He's like, again? I'm like, same poop, different day. So come on over. So now I'm over there and I'm trying to like clean. I'm on my knees, and now people are in line. But once again, people are like, somebody must spill it. No one cares. They're all worried about COVID and masks. They don't care about poop. So I'm down, and I'm trying to clean these skid marks around. I'm trying to like clean it up or mop it. I'm like, excuse me for a second. And there's a woman and her kid, and the kid's like 4 years old or something, and eye level with me. Inside, he goes, he's like, hi. I go, hi, and he just looks and goes, poop. I'm like, yep, poop. And the mother goes, be quiet, no bad words. But didn't look down. And like the kid wasn't saying bad words. He was calling out the poop. And I'm like, sorry, man. I go, we're just joking around. It's cool. She's like, all right, whatever. Like, leave my kid alone. I'm like, all right, I hope she steps in it. So I'm cleaning all that up. I get it all cleaned up. And then my manager comes around the corner and just goes, she goes, thank you for doing this in front of everybody. And I was like, they didn't know what I was doing. And I couldn't resist. Brandon knows, I couldn't. There's a pun. And I'm like, I just go, this shit will just never end. And then the manager laughs. The other kid, James, but no one else in the line. No, the little kid smiled. I think he got it. And I was like, perfect. So then like a half hour later, it's all done. It's all cleaned up. People are like, thank you for not losing your mind. We appreciate it, whatever. I go in the back, and there's this guy, and he's in the back. He's trying to assemble like some furniture. He's working there in the back, and he's sweating and he's swearing. I'm like, oh, look at you getting a sweat on. He goes, don't fucking start, man. You know how hard my day is? I just snapped. I went, did you clean fucking human poop near the couch? He's like, what? He's like, what did you do? And I explained, he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me about your fucking IKEA bullshit. I had to clean human poop.
When I was a swim instructor, there was no exaggeration. A little autistic boy, his name was Parker. He was my favorite student. Parker was my favorite student because, no exaggeration, every time he saw me, he would shit his pants. It got to the point.
Like fear or happiness?
No, happiness. He was so excited. And it happened on multiple lessons in the pool. And that means that everybody stops. We're done swimming for the day. So it got to the point where Parker's mom would take him out onto the pool deck. I'd wave to him, and she'd turn him right around and walk him back into the locker room so she could change his pants.
Parker's not gonna be late to class today. Will Mr. Hintz be there? Because we've run out of wipes and I don't know what to do.
No,
you're gonna get a call in the future like, Parker's really constipated. Can you come over and say hi?
Put him on the phone. Hey, buddy. I've never felt more loved.
You know what that kid's doing now? Premature ejaculation. It switched the other way. He sees women. Parker, it's like, oh, you think this is bad? You should see the other guy. All right. Hey, Brandon, unless you have a shit story, I think we're done.
No, I think we're good.
All right.
I'll save it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching or whatever. Do we plug things? We don't plug
Everyone.
things now, right? Because we're one show. We don't plug
What do
other
we
shit.
have?
Yeah, watch this show.
Yeah, watch this show and tell others it's not about kid fucking.
That's right.
Even though there was a lot of stories about kids and butts, but it was poop. All right. Bye.